Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to the clips of the livestream that happened this weekend. The link to the full-length stream will be in the description, as well as the link to the original story. I have clipped these sections together to make the best time possible for the videos, between 10 and 15 minutes. So, if there is more than one story in this video, they may not have sequentially happened in the stream. But anyways, hope to see you guys in the next stream. If not, don't worry, there'll be more clips next week. There are also ways to support the channel down below if you so choose to do so. And if you could do all the YouTube gumph for this video to help it in the algorithm, it would be very much appreciated. Anyways, on to the live sci-fi. Please note that the only editing I've done to these clips has been to clip them and boost the audio for better listening. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. And off we go. The exploiters go from star system to star system, silently placing whole races into their factories and fields, encountering no resistance as all races in the galaxy have evolved to cooperate rather than compete and are totally docile. They discover humanity's savagery the hard way. Written by AC1308. It depends on how many X's, Y's, and Z's there are. High Explorer shares unto himself sneered as he clasped his grasping hands behind his back and allowed his fighting hands to strike the appropriate places of the control panel. Slowly, majestically, the immense bulk of the commanding word lifted from the surface of the planet. On the sensors, he could see the collection of ships rising into the atmosphere. The former population on the planet below, placed into stasis and stacked into the holds. This was his third tour as High Exploiter, and while the satisfaction was still there, it wasn't as deep and full as it had once been. Where was the challenge, the glory to be had from facing a native population and subduing them by force of arms? Letting out a long exhalation, he turned from a view screen and made his way off the bridge. Behind him, he knew full well his officers would be attending diligently to their assigned tasks. They knew all too well the penalty for being caught slacking off. If they were lucky, they would be demoted and counted the stacking xenospecies by hand. All several billion of them. Galactic domination had proved surprisingly easy. His species, technically known as the Adroni, but far more widely called the Exploiters, were known as such, not because the races they exploited, but the single loophole that had proven central to their success. When Adroni spoke, their voices held a subsonic underlay that made other races more likely to accept what they were saying. This was helped by the fact that every single species they had encountered had a basis for mutual cooperation. More useful again, each of these species had independently evolved what he called the command word. Use of a race's command word was guaranteed to elicit full cooperation with any endeavor. Coupled with his own race's subsonic speech underlay, this means that once he found the command word for any given species, he could literally talk them into giving up and walking on board the collection ships. There was 3 ship days to the next planet to be exploited. He spent the time going over what he knew of the local dominant species. Most of the reports indicated that a medium-sized biped called human seemed to be the main suspect, though a few clung to the opinion that the small furred quadruped called cat was actually running the show. This was based mainly on how humans catered to their demanding nature, but shares unto himself had his doubts. In any case, there was no lexicon available for how cats communicated with humans, while the command words humans used on each other were ripe for the picking. In fact, there was just one, but many, of varying levels of urgency. Over the 3 ship days, shares unto himself memorized them all. When his flagship entered orbit around the blue and white planet, he was ready. Planetary communication lines had already been mapped out, and translation software stood ready to render his majestic words onto his soon-to-be subject species. As the faces of the many, many world leaders appeared on his screens, he couldn't help but wonder how cooperative a race could be, with so many leaders. Still, it wouldn't make any difference in the end. "Greetings, leaders of Earth," he began smoothly. "I come before you today to request that you join me in a great undertaking." He paused, and then used the first command word. "Please." "What's the undertaking?" asked one of the humans. That wasn't the first time he'd been asked that one, but it was rare. "If you really don't mind," he said firmly. "We are gathering all species together in one huge cooperative endeavor, so, What cooperative endeavor?" asked another human. "Details, please." "Oh, you don't need to know the details," Shares, unto himself, said smoothly, pushing the subsonics a little harder. "So if you could disarm your militaries and enter the collection ships when they land, Why do we need to disarm our militaries?" asked yet another human. Shares, unto himself, lost his temper. "Listen, do as you're damn well told. You want to cooperate, don't you? Have your militaries ready to hand over their weapons when my soldiers land. Oh, there will be trouble." There was a silence for a moment. Then one of the humans leaned forward. "Come and take them." As one, the other humans signified assent and agreement. "Finally," he thought, "my soldiers will be landing at once." He stated out loud, "Be sure to mark out the convenient landing areas." Another of the humans stretched his lips into a smile to show his gratitude. "Oh, we will." Shares, unto himself, was having a nice gravel massage in his quarters when the speaker bled. "Hi, exploiter! Emergency! Emergency! The humans are acting erratically." "Erratically? How?" he asked. Was there a way to solve the last problem of the ship? "They have not handed over their weapons. They fired on our soldiers and massacred them. Now they are taking over the collection ships." That was so ludicrous that Shares, unto himself, scoffed. "That's impossible. The humans must have invited us down to accept their weapons from them. They surrendered to us." "Hi, exploiter, it is what's happening. We've already lost 3 collection ships. Humans have assaulted the guards in the ship and are forcing their way in." "I'll be right there." Shares, unto himself, threw on a tunic and headed for the bridge. Sure enough, when he got there, he was faced with the multiple views of humans forcing his troops back, driving ever closer to the bridge. "You see?" One of the underlings pointed at the screens. "They just went crazy." Shares, unto himself, rolled his outer eyes, while keeping his inner ones fixed on the screen. "Open a channel. I'll sort this out." He couldn't even count on his subordinates to handle this being surrounded Xenosapiens. "Yes, hi, exploiter." A screen cleared, showing a human attackers advancing on the bridge. "No, listen here, chaps," snapped Shares, unto himself. "This is unacceptable. Your leaders have surrendered. You must lay down your weapons, or else." A human turned to the camera, exhibiting an odd one-fingered gesture. "Fucking make us, mate." Shares, unto himself, blinked. "I thought that was what I was doing." As the bridge jaws blew in, he realized all too late that he didn't want a challenge after all. End of story. Dum dum dum. Baelish chum. There we go. Sip of the old water. And that's story number 1 done. 4 more to go. That's one of the shorter ones of the evening. No, that is the shortest one of the evening. Just a couple more sips of water, and then we can start with the next one. And that, my friends, ends this clip of the live stream from the weekend. I hope that you enjoyed. As always, relevant links are down below in the description, and the rest of the videos will be released throughout the week. I hope to see you in the next stream this Saturday at 1700 GMT. And I hope that you have a fantastic one until then, and I will see you all in the next video. Cheers.